All right, you Maison Derrière patrons, it's time to dust off your starter jackets, rip off those tearaways, and blow into your game cartridges. I'm Sam Blandford.
I'm Sean Kelly, and we wish it was the 90s. Welcome back to another spasmodic episode of our podcast where we talk about things from the 90s with no real clear method, rhyme, or reason. And apologies to our devoted fan base of 3 for being absent for a couple of weeks. It's report time, it's crunch time in Q4, and Australia, it's tax time. Just before we get into today's episode, feel free to give us a like and a follow on the socials. WIWT90S, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube now. Well, we're always on YouTube, but we've got a handle, which is nice.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to 5-star us and leave a little review. We've locked down the algorithm. It doesn't matter what you say. Mug us off all you want, but 5 stars.
The Facebook page is getting a bit of run lately.
Yeah, keeps on your toes. Well, someone asked a question about Lomus on Twitter, and I was ecstatic.
Harder, definitely the best winger out of him and Lima.
Yeah, what a great question.
Anyway, we're doing This Week On. And, well, actually, probably should talk. It's our first two-person podcast.
You know what, Sam? I've been really looking forward to this. Like, no disrespect to our entire team because they'll probably listen to this, but some magic's going to happen tonight.
I'm a bit nervous. I like listening to other people's views more than listening to my own.
You also can't like take a 2-minute zone out. The pod will literally stop.
All right, we this week on The Simpsons. It was the episode Bart After Dark, which is the 5th episode of the 8th season. 8th season, one of my favourite seasons, I think. It was on November 24th, 1996 that it was released. I had fond memories of this episode before watching it. I'll just give you a brief synopsis. We might talk a little bit about the episode and our feelings of it this time around. Go into who our favourite, best actor, best supporting actor was, and then some best bits at the end. So, an oil tanker runs aground and it spills millions of gallons of oil on the Baby Seal Beach. Lisa begs Marge to help celebrities scrub oil from shorebirds and sea mammals. Marge, Lisa, and Maggie drive to the beach, leaving Bart and Homer at home. Soon the house becomes a filthy mess, so Bart decides to go out and play with friends. When Milhouse's toy aeroplane crashes atop a roof of a Gothic house, Bart retrieves it and it accidentally falls, destroying a stone gargoyle. Belle, the owner of the house, grabs Bart by the ear and takes him home, much to his friend's horror. At the Simpson home, Belle demands that Homer punish Bart for trespassing on her property. I won't mention that part. We'll get to that bit later. But basically, Homer forces Bart to perform chores at the Maison Derrière, which the boys soon learns is a burlesque house. Marge and Lisa's arrival at the beach doesn't go as well as they would hope. And back at home, after Homer learns the truth of the burlesque house, he does nothing to stop Bart working there, but the Principal Skinner visits the burlesque house and sees Bart as the door greeter, which he reports to the God Squad, who confront Homer about it. Marge returns home unexpectedly and is upset to learn that Homer has let this occur. Marge asks Belle to close the house, and when she doesn't, she holds a town meeting to discuss the burlesque house. Marge's campaign convinces the town to form a mob to destroy the house. Homer tries to stop the mob with a song, and Marge ends up bulldozing the house, much to the town's dismay. What do you think of the episode, Sean?
Just absolute cracker.
Yeah, I didn't like it that much.
Oh, what?
I know, I know. I remember loving this episode, and I was left a little bit disappointed, I must say.
I remembered what it was about, and I think there's a couple of things that also just. It's interesting how many memes are in this episode.
Give me some examples. You're the meme king.
So there's Homer in the grocery bag.
Yeah.
There's I wrote them down. My notes are chaotic today because I was having such a good time. I told you last night. No, he's watching TV. And Abe walking in, whistling, and then whistling out of the Maison Derrière.
That's one that I have definitely seen recently. I didn't realize what's the meme behind the grocery bag.
Just being not knowing where your pants are, being completely out of it, out of touch with
slobbish.
Yeah, slobbish. I guess because I'm in a couple of Simpsons shitposting groups on Facebook. Slightly more obscure references become quite common practice. I do recommend to our listeners, especially Australian, New Zealand based, to jump into CompuGlobal Hyper Meganet New Zealand and Australia on Facebook. That group is absolute gold.
Oh, the one that I'm in is like an Aussie cricket / Simpsons sledges / memes.
Oh yeah, not bad. There's also Bart posting and just Simpsons shit posting. What's the one? The episode where Homer's gets put on a TV show about creeps or whatever. Rock Bottom. Yeah. Rock Bottom posting. I absolutely love CompuGlobal Hyper Meganet because it's quite ruthless. So if someone posts a meme that's already been done before, there'd just be like 500 comments of people referencing George Harrison.
So the one where he's on rock bottom, that's where he peels the gummy DeMilo off the babysitter's ass, eh?
Yeah. And then groundskeeper Willie saves him because he was in the bushes filming it. And so they do a retraction of Homer. And then the next episode's about groundskeeper Willie being a peeping Tom.
Fun fact, I was in the school office the other day and I noticed our office assistant has a dress that has gummy DeMilos all over it.
Oh, real good.
She didn't know the Simpsons reference, unfortunately, so I promptly brought up the YouTube clip. She just liked the dress.
You just bought a Simpsons dress not knowing.
Yeah, good. Well, maybe her husband bought it for her, and as a this is my thing.
She doesn't even know that he's drooling over her in her dress, just for the sweets.
I thought the start was really good, and I thought it just deteriorated when Marge came back from the subplot, basically. And
it's interesting because every time the subplot was on, I was like, ugh. But then at the same time, I was kind of reveling in the fact that they were hating it.
Yeah, I actually don't hate that subplot. There's not a lot of time given to it, really.
I also like the subplot is even more relevant today because how many businesses do charity work so they can post it on LinkedIn.
Well, you're in the LinkedIn. I don't have anything to do with LinkedIn. Is that what they do on LinkedIn? I thought that was like a CV thing.
Oh, people do use it, but it's probably more a little bit sick. LinkedIn's like just Facebook for business people.
Now, LinkedIn sucks. I thought there were no real running gags. Simon's mentioned it in episodes past where the best type of jokes are ones that just build on each other and get funnier and funnier as it goes on. There weren't any real maybe that's not right, but he'll tell me if it's not. There weren't any gags that were like kept being referenced within the episode. The song is great, obviously, but yes, as soon as Marge comes back into the main plot, I think there's very few funny bits from then on.
Yeah, a couple of interesting Marge observations. She's 37 in this episode.
Oh yeah, what was that? Because how long's she been in the Springfield?
37 years. She's third generation, so she was born there.
Then when did she have Bart?
He's 10.
So I thought they had Bart real early, like soon after high school.
There's a sliding timeline here, lest we forget that episode where Homer and Marge were living in the 90s.
Yeah, those flashback episodes, I didn't think those out very, very well.
No.
Marge and Lisa in that subplot, like Marge is always better, like, and Lisa actually, I think, are better like reactionary characters to the like Bart and Homer's hijinks, I think.
That's fair.
And she does end up reacting to it, but yeah, just like kind of she takes Homer's bit.
Yeah. She's a genuine plot driver here just to have the last scene.
Yeah, and she's just not very funny, I don't think. And she's funnier in the bit with Lisa because she's reacting to Lisa's I don't know what Lisa wants to do. I don't know what they're trying to do with Lisa either in this episode.
Yeah.
So sorry to bring you down, Sean, but
yeah, fuck you.
There are heaps of good quotes though.
Heaps of heaps of great moments. Should we get into the best bits and then do our MVP?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's definitely good. Do you want to go? You want to go
drunk
first?
Captain?
Captain McAllister.
Yeah.
What did he say?
I'll give you $100 if you take the blame.
Is that to all the reporters as well?
Yeah.
My favourite bit in the episode, I think, was the flying the toy plane.
I've got a quote from that scene that I absolutely loved.
Oh, well, the best characters quote, who only in it for two scenes, and Burns, I don't like being outdoors. For one thing, there's too many fat children.
That's exactly what I wrote down.
I'd forgotten that comes up. I thought Smithers was going to get stung by a bee, but that was a completely different episode. I think that's when he's riding a bike, he gets stung, and he just keeps and tells him to keep riding.
I also quite like when Marge, the God Squad is showing the footage of all the Simpsons men walking out, and Smithers walks out, and goes, Smithers? Mother insisted I try at least once.
That's right. He's looking real disappointed when he walks out as well, or like I don't know what that look is. I'm glad you brought that up, because after Quimby says, good quote, people, this is an issue that we as a town are strong enough to ignore. Let us give no more scrutiny to this bawdy house and its small clientele of loyal perverts. So, who was the most interesting loyal pervert to you? Clancy?
Eugene and Rusty.
Who are Eugene and Rusty?
That's an only one episode appearance for Eugene and Rusty.
Shit, they're almost as pale as Wendell. So who's your most interesting loyal pervert? Clancy, Julius, Seymour, Paddy, Cletus, Barney, Smithers, or the mayor?
Probably Seymour, just for the reaction that he gets initially from Superintendent Chalmers.
I thought Julius. I was pretty interested to see Julius walking out of there, where he finds the time as a doctor. You know,
all those night shifts.
Wiggum steals the show in that scene, I reckon.
Yeah, it's fair.
Any other bits you liked?
I just love it when Bart finally gets in there and he turns the bell and he says, "Lady, I gotta tell you, I've been grossly misinformed about witches."
All that bit with I really like Nelson, that bit, and Nelson's good in it just before leading up to it. When Nelson's not in his bullying state, I like Nelson.
Yeah, I like him when he's part of the crew.
Yeah, definitely.
I also just obviously love the Abe part. Is your name Bart? Yes. Does your father know you're working here? It's his idea. In that case, I'll have a whiskey sour.
Oh, I actually thought, and I put a little note here. So Abe was great there. The Jasper Abe at the town meeting was very good.
Hmm.
And also Jasper and Abe in the song, very good. I feel like, yes, there. I don't know whether it's just Jasper because there is a lot of Abe in episodes. But Jasper and Abe as a duo, just in general, maybe a bit of meat left on the bone.
Hmm.
I know their bits are probably like very similar. They're like every episode where you put them in, they're probably going to be doing something senile. But I laughed out loud each time they were on.
Yeah, they were real good. I thought Skinner was also quite good as well for the brief parts he was in. Obviously, in the town hall when he goes, "Mother," but also when the God Squad's outside the Simpsons house and he
Yeah.
chimes in and says, "I was only there to get directions on how to get away from there."
He says something funny when he walks into and sees Bart in there. This
Yeah,
is the
that's right.
Space and Air Museum or something like
Yeah. There's
that.
something about, is Roxy working? Did she get my flowers?
I never realised that Bart spelt success wrong when he was climbing up on the top of the roof.
It's the first time I noticed that too. And I think it's because I was paying attention because I thought he might.
Oh, I didn't notice this listing, and then I had to replay. I was like, oh, I always thought because I've always used that when like as a kid to spell success. I do that little song. The bit
So
that
you've been spelling it wrong.
no, but just the idea. I obviously thought he said SS. The bit where Lisa and Marge are driving away, and she walks up to Homer. It's just like I can see this with so many couples, and she's just like reeling off things that he needs to remember.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yep. And then, then she's talking about something about the cat and the furnace. He's like, cat in the furnace.
Real good.
Oh shit.
I also quite enjoy Marge's lack of faith. You know, like that's that thing you're talking about when she's playing off Homer there, and she's like trying to think of things to say, and she's like, "Ooh, what do you think I would do?"
Yeah, which comes back and is very funny later.
Mm.
Marge is really good at the start of the episode, I reckon, and that, yeah, I reckon there'd be so many wives or significant others who would be in the exact same situation as Marge.
Yeah, yeah. Another thing I was a little bit gutted about, I was quite keen to see where that Jerry Springer Itchy and Scratchy episode was going.
I put Springer reference question mark. The 1996. When would have Springer started? Early 90s.
I'd say so.
I have to look that up.
Look it up.
The great when Homer obviously answers the door wearing a paper bag. Actually, both times Homer answers the door is comedy gold, wearing
Yeah.
the paper bag, and then he goes back inside and he asks how he should be punished. He's like, I think she lets me taste beer. Come on, boy, give your old man a bit of credit, and then all the groceries fall out. And when he answers the door later, he's like, oh, this isn't going to be about Jesus, is it? Everything's about Jesus.
Yeah, that's real good. Jerry Springer 91.
91. Yeah, pretty good from us there. Any more bits? I got probably two more things I could talk about.
I love it when they're on the way to the house to burn it down. And there's no justice like angry mob justice.
Who's there? Is Mo or no?
Yeah.
Mo gets mugged off a bit in this. In the song, when Homer's
Right.
like, he mugs off Mo's and Quickie Mart.
Yeah, but also Mo, there's a good scene in the town hall where there's a picture of Barney coming out. No, it's Barney.
Yeah, Mo's great. When Homer first walks into the burlesque house and he's like looking around the photos, President Eisenhower celebrates 40th wedding anniversary. Not pictured, Mrs. Eisenhower. Then he gets pissed off with Bell and he's like, I don't care if he was filling in for Mel Z. Who's that random guy we've never met before who Bart is filling in for?
Yeah, is Mel Z a person?
It's actually not Mel's. I don't think it's Mel Z, but I couldn't pick it up who it is. I think it's Mel's. Yeah, it's something that sounds like Z. I think.
Yeah. All that's coming up on Google is random Instagram pages to follow that I'm pretty sure.
Not people. Last bit was in that town meeting where Marge is talking about the house. And everyone's thinking that there's like a plumbing issue or like a surveying issue with the house. She's like, there's nothing wrong with the house. Wiggum's like, quit bad mouthing the house.
The only other thing that I noticed I thought was quite funny is another, much like Monorail, a song saves the plot or like gives the viewers what they want and derails Marge's plot.
The song.
Yeah, because obviously the Monorail song ends Marge's plans to fix up Main Street, and here the song about the burlesque house, we put the spring in Springfield. It's supposed to obviously like it sways the whole town again. Like the town, everyone in the town is susceptible to a good song except Marge. Well, she missed that one, but you know.
They are susceptible to the song, but there's not many good points in the song. Like what they're trying to sway the God Squad on is like lacy uniforms and your dad has a good time here. Actually, that's not a bad point. That's the only time we see Mr. Lovejoy.
I'm just trying to find Mel Z on the wiki for this episode, but it's not detailed enough.
Nah. Well, why don't we go into our MVP Best Supporting Actor, and I'll let you. Should we do MVPs first and then Best Supporting Actors, or do you want to do yours and then I'll do mine?
Well, let's do MVPs because I find supporting actor for this episode is particularly difficult. It could be a character who has one line.
Yes, I'm tossing up whether to do that or whether to go with the obvious. But you do your MVP first.
My MVP is Homer. It's just nearly every scene he's in is better for him being in it.
Yeah.
It's not like he's like a gag a minute or he's central to the plot without being central to the plot, but just every time he's on screen, stuff's happening. His relationship for the Homer and Bart father and son weekend is just great. And that conversation they have about dinner is just, it really sets the tone.
Yeah, that's I'd forgotten about that little bit where they're just coexisting as flatmates.
They don't either of them know what time dinner is.
Looked like he had cooked up something, or maybe Marge had let
it did
them
look like a
something.
good feed.
Like a proper feed, not just don't know how they accumulated so much rubbish. Yeah, Homer's my MVP as well. He that's why it pisses me off that Marge kind of bumps him from the plot. because he's so good. And then he kind of just disappears, and then he comes up. I'd forgotten that he's the one who sings the song. I thought Bart started it for some reason.
And I also just like how you get a good little glimpse into Homer's standing in the community, even though he's obviously a buffoon. He's just like, friends, listen. And everyone literally just stops and looks at him.
Yeah, everyone loves him.
He could. And like, he's gold.
It is Mel Zetz. So it's like a Zetz or something like that. Mel Zetz.
Oh, I see.
Is he an actual person? We don't see Mel Zetz.
Nah. Just yeah. This is dangerous. I'm in a Simpsons Reddit.
Madness. So controversial best supporting actor.
Just for the record, I clicked the comments on the Reddit to see if anyone's talking about who it is. It's literally just quote after quote after quote. If there's a bad bookkeeping joke, I haven't heard it. I'll start by sorting these bras. That's a little advanced for you.
I've forgotten about it. Bart's really good. So I'm tossing up between Bart and someone else for my best supporting actor. Who are you going with, Sean?
Could be anyone. I'm going with Mayor Quimby for the town hall effort.
Not bad. He is reasonably central in that part. I think Bart is probably the best supporting actor in this.
He's real good.
But he's sorry, carry on.
I was going to say he's very good at the very end when Marge is doing her terrible routine and Homer yells out, "Take it off." All right, Dad, you've been warned.
Yeah, it's a well-written Bart episode, I think. But he's probably too main for me to consider him as the supporting actor. So I'm going to go with Skinner.
Yes, he was up there for me.
Just a couple of he drives a couple of very funny scenes, and just when he gets called out at the town meeting, he's like, "Mother." Then at the end, I did notice at the end, it got Superintendent Chalmers. His name's Super. I get him mixed up.
Super Nintendo.
Try to call him Super Nintendo Chalmers. Him and Flanders are like arm in arm, like waving their arms up ahead when they're singing their song.
Yeah.
So I thought, just a couple of scenes that he's in. The one in the burlesque house where he initially runs into Bart, where he's with the God Squad at Homer's house, and then at the town meeting. So he's in quite a few. Clancy,
brave of him to reveal to the God Squad that he caught Bart there.
Yeah, he could have come up with a way better lie too.
Yeah,
and Clancy was very good, I thought too. Being caught out twice at the burlesque house.
Yeah, looks like you were right. He was. Mel Zetz was made up, and then there's one theory here suggests that it might be a play on Mel Blanc, who was a voice actor from Looney Tunes.
Is this from Reddit?
Oh yeah, man! This podcast will end, and I'll sit here for another hour.
Don't believe anything you read on Reddit.
Sex Cauldron? I thought they closed that place down.
Is that in this episode?
I don't know. It's coming up on the subreddit that I'm lost in.
No, I think that's it. I think that's Abe says that.
No, isn't it Jasper? And then Abe says no. They're talking about the
in this episode.
Isn't that what they say at the end? in the thing, or is he? What does Jasper say to Abe when he can't hear what they're talking about at the town meeting?
Um, he's asking something completely different. He says, "Are they talking about?" Oh no, Krusty says the sex cauldron part.
Oh yeah.
That's the one where where Skinner and Edna are together. That is a great episode, by the way. I watched that the other day. Where
Is that where they
and,
lock themselves in the school?
yeah, that's right. What's her name? The Lovejoy's wife is like, they were having sex in front of the children, and Krusty's like, sex cauldron. I thought they got the place down. That episode, season 8, episode 19. I watched it the other day. We need to do that one when it comes around. That was
It must be
friggin'
coming around after Christmas.
Oh, it's I think it's like March, April. It's like end of this season. A lot of
Something else.
Simpsons.
Sorry, you go.
Sorry, a lot of Simpsons writers, not writers, fans. So when I'm doing a bit of research for these episodes, there's one where it's got like a run through of the episode, and there's contributors to it's like a blog. It's real old school. And they all put their thoughts on the episode and give it a ranking. And I'm finding season 8's like my favorite season, and a lot of them don't seem to like season 8 at all, and they find a lot of them are very harsh on their rankings and ratings of these episodes. They obviously like much earlier stuff. They're probably like, oh, I'm a purist. Not all of them, but some of them.
I thought the consensus was, I thought it was more like season up to at least like 10, 11 before people start getting real anti on it.
Maybe I'm not a purist, Sean.
That's bullshit, because you only moved twice this season 8, and that's a fucking cracker.
Yeah, that is.
And we just missed that too.
Yeah, we've missed that one. We can do that next year.
Holy shit, that's a good. That is so good.
There's so many.
I think of that. Homer They Fall.
Yeah, isn't
this is the Larry Burns season.
Homer's Enemy?
I'm
Grimy?
Yeah, I'm seeing if I can't. Yeah, that's in there. That's May.
We've got to get onto that.
Homer's Phobia.
Homer's Phobia and Homer's Enemy in season 8.
Homer's Phobia is February. Oh, this is Brother from Another Series. Sideshow Cecil.
Look, season 8 is fantastic. I just like, there's obviously a subsection of the fandom that probably think it may have jumped the shark by this point.
I don't think it's this point. I think this is. I don't like those people. Fuck those guys.
I'll send it to you anyway. It's like Simpsons Archive or SNPP or something like that.
So good. The Old Man and the Lisa, the Canine Mutiny. You obviously mentioned Grade School Confidential. My Sister, My Sitter. Homer versus the 18th Amendment. Oh man, that episode is good.
Bear Baron. I think there's a lot of episodes.
I know why this is why people don't like it. It's the Poochie season.
Oh, but it's not that bad of an episode just because
Poochie's fine, but Poochie's such a good way to suggest this is when it jumps the shark.
Maybe they were having a go at themselves.
Yeah.
Braining, always ahead of himself.
This is like it's the Sherry Bobbins.
Yeah,
the Springfield Files. Like
before Sean names every single episode in season 8. I think we're looking at doing X-Men in the near future.
We've been delaying finishing this, so it'd be nice to get that monkey off our back.
Looking forward to season 5.
Do you remember from our original chat about the X-Men about what we talked about for season 5?
No.
Prepare yourself. No, I won't. You just wait and see.
Okay, I look forward to it. I can't remember what's happened.
I think there's parts of the first couple episodes you'll enjoy, certainly, and then I think we'll all be off board by the end of season 5.
All right, I look forward to ripping into it.
Sweet.
All right.
I don't think we have to sign out because we did our plug at the start. So
take it off.